Yo guys, what is going on? In today's video here, I'll be giving you guys the best NBA picks, spreads, and player props in today's action, April 26th, 2022. The slate we got today, we got the Heat versus the Hawks, we got the Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies, and we got the Pelicans versus the Phoenix Suns. So today, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't like any of the spreads. Let me just go through the spreads fairly quickly. I mean, you got here it's at plus 6.5 for the Pelicans and minus 6.5 for Phoenix. I don't like any of that. Minus, what is it at here? Timberwolves and Grizzlies, it's at -6 and +6. I think that's, I don't know if I like that either. And even the Hawks and the Heat at -6.5. I think that's too much. If anything, if I did have to pick any of those games, I don't see any of the underdogs winning these games. So if anything, I would maybe go with the money line favorites, parlaying all the favorites on the money line. I just think that maybe that is your best bet at this point here. Maybe the Pelicans could beat the Suns here, but other than that, in terms of today, I really don't have any bets that I'm putting down on the spreads. I just think that it's very, very tricky. So today, strictly in this video, I'm giving you 3 player props in each game that I think can easily cash out. I'm very, very confident. But first off, I got to look at what happened last night. Just a tough night. We went 2-3. Jason Tatum over 5.5 points did not hit. He had 5. Pascal Siakam over 23.5 points. He had 23. Jaylen Brown actually cashed out. He had under 24.5. He had, I believe, 22 points. Of course, Donovan Mitchell getting hurt. I think he only had 9 points. That was unfortunate. And then, of course, who was the other pick we had? I believe it was Kevin Durant over 28.5 points. Obviously, that cashed out. He had a monster game. But guess what, guys? The Brooklyn Nets still got swept. 2 of the 3 of my picks came in last night. The only one that didn't was the Nets money line. I did get the Raptors at +8. That easily cashed out, for God's sake. They even won the game. And I had the Mavs at -3, which I never really sweated in that one either. So let's kick it off with the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks. Here is the first player prop that I have, and it's Tyler Herro over 17.5 points at -112 odds. I just think Tyler Herro has to get it going, and he's been so reliable now with Kyle Lowry out. I know that the lines really boosted Jimmy Butler's number up to 25.5 after that one game where he dropped 41, and he just was one of the best games of his career. Brought it back to Jimmy Butler from 2 years ago. I just think that Tyler Herro is Mr. All Reliable. He's been getting 20 points per game off of the bench all season long. He's going up against another bench player who's been magnificent all year in Bojan Bogdanovic. I really think, though, that Tyler Herro, the more minutes that he's going to get now with Kyle Lowry out of the lineup, I expect about 22 points tonight. This is an elimination game for the Miami Heat. They really want to end it here on that gentleman's sweep, and I think a big part of the reason Miami wins tonight is they get efficient and great scoring all around at all areas of the offensive area in Tyler Herro. He could score in the paint, he could score in the mid-range, he could score the 3 lights out. Tyler Herro is just a walking bucket, so I think 17.5 might be a little low here. I got Tyler Herro over 17.5 points at -112 odds on FanDuel. My second player prop of the day, which, you know what, it is. It's funny because I did the under last game, and I easily regretted it. I'm going with Karl Anthony Towns over 37.5 point rebounds, assists at -122 on FanDuel. I just think that Karl Anthony Towns is motivated as hell. And, they're the 7th seed. Memphis has had it easy. A lot of people wrote off the Timberwolves early on. I mean, come on. Pat Beverly, it looked like he won the freaking championship after, they won that play-in game. I just think that the Minnesota Timberwolves, now that they've tied the series 2-2, they are so hungry. I think Karl Anthony Towns, after that dud of a Game 3, he just looks like he's a different human being. Last game, he looked possessed. And I think it's going to only translate here. If Steven Adams is off the court, Brandon Clark can't necessarily guard him all that well. And Jaren Jackson Jr., we all know that he's not that disciplined, and he does get into foul trouble quite often. The only red flag for this bet, or the risk here, is obviously the foul trouble with Karl Anthony Towns. But I don't see it really being an issue. I see the Timberwolves making this a contest. I see Karl Anthony Towns maybe getting about 25 points, 11 rebounds, maybe 4 assists. something like that, and maybe getting about 40 PRAs in this game. So my second player prop of bet of the day is Karl Anthony Towns over 37.5 point rebounds assists. And my final NBA player prop of the day gonna come in the Pelicans and Suns game. I was really flip-flopping between Michael Bridges over 15.5 points and CJ McCollum over 24.5 points. I got to go with CJ McCollum over 24.5 points at plus 100 on FanDuel. You're getting that at plus money. 2 of the 4 games he's gotten over 24.5. He had 30 and 25, and then the other games I believe he had 18 and 23. The thing with me that makes this maybe not as risky, and I think it's a really profitable bet, is that CJ McCollum, he shoots a lot. And like I mentioned in yesterday's video, the superstar players, when it starts coming down to, the end of a series, they're going to start chucking up a little more shots. We've seen Brandon Ingram shoot a little more. He's been really, really confident, averaging about 29 points per game the last 3. The Pelicans, man, their offensive game is so lethal, and I think it runs around CJ McCollum. I think CJ McCollum can get about 28 points tonight. I definitely think he could get 25 points in tonight's game. So I got CJ McCollum at 24.5 points at plus 100 on FanDuel. So let's quickly run this back. My first player prop is in the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks game is Tyler Herro over 17.5 points. In the second game with the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, I got Karl Anthony Towns over 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And in the last game, the Pelicans and Suns, I was going to take Michael Bridges over 15.5 points, but I ended up going with CJ McCollum, the bad boy in New Orleans, over 24.5 points at plus money. This is Twin Lads Picks. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Signing out.